Good evening, everyone, and welcome to tonight's South London Home Choir. We've decided to go ahead tonight because for all of us, both as Palace A Cappella Choir and Craggy Community Choir, separately and together, the choir, the importance for us is very much about community, and we felt that this was even more important at this time. But we wanted to mark Blackout Tuesday. So thank you for joining us in a 2-minute silence. Our songs tonight are also going to reflect today and the situation that's happening. And also any donations that we receive today for the session tonight will be going to the National Mikey Powell Memorial Family Fund, which supports families affected by deaths in custody and campaign groups in their fight for justice. So thank you for joining us tonight. And if you would like to donate at all towards that, we will be sending donations that come through our page tonight to that fund. So let's start by having a bit of a stretch. So just something gentle to let go of the day a bit. Just doing what you need to do to lengthen out your spine again. Find a bit of space, a bit of stillness, a bit of breath. And obviously don't do anything you shouldn't do. If you feel like it, maybe just a little spine twist, or looking over your right shoulder. And releasing back to centre, and the other side. So either looking over your shoulder if you just want a neck stretch, or twisting your whole spine. Great, and releasing back to centre. And let's just do shh, 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 you guys. Shh, 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 and again. Shh, 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 and again. Shh, 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 on zh, 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 and again. Zh, 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 and again. On zzz, 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 and again. Zzz, 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 on and again. Good. Okay, we're going to use these noises just over a steady kind of feeling of 4. And I want you to copy what I do. So it'll be something like this. You guys. You guys. And like that. And as we go, I'm going to make it a bit more complicated with some rhythms and things for you to join in. Repeat, rather. So let's give it a go. So here's your first 1, 2, 3. You guys. You guys. You well done. Okay, I think we should make it a little bit harder. So this time I am sometimes going to do a second rhythm straight away, so that you'll have to be repeating the first rhythm and also listening to the next one at the same time. So for example, something like this. My first one might be and you repeat while I go. Okay, so let's give that a go. The aim with this is not to get it right necessarily, but to get some breath flowing, to make you think about several things at once, really, and basically to keep you absolutely here now and focusing for the session ahead. Okay, so it doesn't matter if you get it right or wrong, but just give it your best go. Okay, so here we go. 2, 3. Good. Well done, guys. As always, it'd be lovely to hear from you on Facebook how you're getting on, how you found that. Let's just do a little bit of pitch. So you can do that on a lip trill. Use your fingers if it helps to make that a bit easier. Or on a roll dart if you can do, which I'm sure, as you know by now, I can't. Or on a v if that's easier. So pick your noise and just going up a little bit, okay, and a bit higher, and a bit more, and a bit more, and even more. Last one. Good. And then coming from high as you can to low as you can, and good. Bouncing from low to high. Good, fantastic. Okay, so I thought we'd learn a round today where the words caught me as seeming appropriate for the day. So I thought we'd give it a go. This is a new one. It's actually new that for me as well. I learnt it today, so I'm sure it's almost certainly new to most of you in my choir anyway. So this one is called Freedom Train, and it goes like this. Goes. This old freedom train is such a long time. I was right. At a moment of doubt, you should just keep going. I teach this to you guys all the time, that actually blagging is really important, and I failed today. There we go. So it goes, and this old freedom train is such a long time in a coming. Now there's none who can afford it, so you'd better jump aboard it, singing freedom. Gonna have freedom. Gonna have freedom, freedom, freedom. And then we did it again. Okay, there's quite a lot of words in the beginning bits, so let's just speak that. So, this old freedom train is such a long time in a coming. Ready, you guys? And this old freedom train is such a long time in a coming. And again, this old freedom train is such a long time in a coming. Once more. This old freedom train is such a long time in a coming. Next bit. Now there's none who can't afford it, so you'd better jump aboard it, singing. Okay? Now there's none that can't afford it, so you'd better jump aboard it, singing. Okay? And now there's none who can't afford it, so you'd better jump aboard it, singing. Okay, let's do that again. Now there's second half. And now there's none who can't afford it, so you'd better jump aboard it, singing. Okay, fab. After this, it's much easier. The first half is the hard bit. Okay, so let's have a go at all of this slightly slower. This old freedom train is such a long time in a coming. Now there's none who can't afford it, so you'd better jump aboard it, singing. Okay, like that. Ready? And this old freedom train is such a long time in a coming. Now there's none who can't afford it, so you'd better jump aboard it, singing. Okay, and again, 3, 4. This old freedom train is such a long time in a coming. Now there's none who can't afford it, so you'd better jump aboard it, singing. Last time, and then we'll put the notes on it, okay? And this old freedom train is such a long time in a coming. Now there's none who can't afford it, so you'd better jump aboard it, singing. And when I did it this afternoon and recorded the track for you guys, I did do that in one breath, so give it a try. Because after that, you get to breathe. So it goes like this. This old freedom train is such a long time. Let's do that. Ready? And this old freedom train is such a long time. So nearly all of it is on that same first note. This old freedom train is such a long time. And again. This old freedom train is such a long time. Once more. This old freedom train is such a long time. So then we have long time in a coming. So you can add that bit on the end because it's all on the same notes. Okay, this, ready, 3, 4. This old freedom train is such a long time in a coming. And again, ready, and this old freedom train is such a long time in a coming. Next bit. Now there's none who can afford it. Now there's none who can't afford it. Ready, and now there's none who can't afford it. One more time. And now there's none who can't afford it. Last bit. So you'd better jump aboard it, singing. So you'd better jump aboard it, singing. Okay, and so you'd better jump aboard it, singing. And again, and so you'd better jump aboard it, singing. Cool. So let's do from now there's none who can't afford it. Now there's none who can't afford it, so you'd better jump on board it, singing. Okay, and 2, 3. Now there's none who can't afford it, so you'd better jump aboard it, singing. Good. Let's go from the beginning. Give it a try. We'll do it a few times, and then the last bit is easy. Okay. This old freedom train is such a long time in a coming. Now there's none who can't afford it, so you'd better jump on board it, singing. Okay, give it a try. 3, 4. This old freedom train is such a long time in a coming. Now there's none who can't afford it, so you'd better jump on board it, singing. And then you get time for breath, okay? And again. 2, 3. This old freedom train is such a long time in a coming. Now there's none who can't afford it, so you'd better jump on board it, singing. Good, we're going to do that one more time and then learn the next bit. 3, 4. This old freedom train is such a long time in a coming. Now there's none who can't afford it, so you'd better jump on board it singing freedom, you guys, and freedom. Then we add a little bit extra on, so we get freedom, gonna have freedom. Let's try that. Ready? 3, 4. Freedom, gonna have freedom. Let's do that one more time. And 3, 4. Freedom, gonna have freedom. Last bit goes, gonna have freedom, freedom, freedom. So, gonna have freedom, freedom, freedom. Okay, gonna have, last bit, and gonna have freedom, freedom, freedom. Okay, so let's go from freedom. This is the second half. Let's give that a try. 3, 4. Freedom, gonna have freedom, gonna have freedom, freedom, freedom. And then we start again with this old freedom train. Okay, so let's try and put it all together. I think we'll do it 3 times in a row, so don't worry if it doesn't make sense the first time. There's quite a lot of words and things there. I'm very aware of that. So as always, this is just about having a go. I've no doubt we'll come back to this at some point, so don't worry if it's not 100% comfortable just yet. This old freedom train, 3 times in a row, okay? And 3, 4. This old freedom train is such a long time in a coming. Now there's none who can't afford it, so you'd better jump aboard it singing freedom, gonna have freedom, gonna have freedom, freedom, freedom. And again. This old freedom train is such a long time in a coming. Now there's none who can't afford it, so you'd better jump on board it singing freedom, gonna have freedom, gonna have freedom, freedom, freedom. Once more. This old freedom train is such a long time in a coming. Now there's none who can't afford it, so you'd better jump on board it singing freedom, gonna have freedom, gonna have freedom, freedom, freedom. Awesome. Well done, guys. So I had a go at doing this, recording this in 4 parts. I don't have a loop pedal, but the closest thing I have is to be able to record it separately and whack it all together for you. So let's give it a go. So you guys can choose. I'll set all the parts off, but you can choose. So four parts singing the same thing, but just in different times. So it's going to go like this. This old freedom train is such a, this old freedom train is such a, this old freedom train, like that. So we're literally 4 beats behind each other, okay? So, Jake, I'm just going to ask you to give me a thumbs up, make sure that you can hear this because I'm doubting my technology. This old freedom train is such a long time. Yeah, okay. Is that better? More. More. Higher. Okay. Ah! Sorry. Is that alright or lower? Yeah, cool. Amazing. Right, guys, you've had a sneak preview of what you're going to do. So, it doesn't help that in order to plug my iPad into everything, it's now resting on the volume. So if it changes, Jake, give me a wave. Okay. So I'm going to set you guys all off and actually then not sing. So I'll keep mouthing it or setting you off or whatever, but it's up to you. Have some fun. Just give it a go. Okay, so this old freedom train. And I really recommend, as with all kind of spiritual gospel genre type, just doesn't work standing still. It really feels like it needs it really wants to flow with the music. So I really encourage you to just let yourself move as feels like it fits with the music. If you want to join me with the beat, or just start messing around with some percussion, body percussion, clapping, clicking, anything you like, please do. This is part of the warm-up, is actually to loosen up and to focus in on what we're doing. So this is your moment to just let rip and do whatever you want to do, and whatever comes, embrace it. This old, here we go. This old freedom train is such a long time in a coming. Now there's none who can define it. Such a blessed freedom train is such a land to tread upon it. Such a jump for the singing, that's a jump for the singing. Awesome. Well done, you guys. Let us know how you get on with that, and I hope you, at least, whether it was easy or hard or right or wrong, I hope that you had some fun. So I'm going to pass over to Jake now to do the first of our new songs for today. So Jake, all yours.
Thank you, Eleanor. Hi everyone, thanks for joining us this evening. So, as Eleanor was saying, this session is a very special online rehearsal of South London Home Choir. Because it's Blackout Tuesday, we're not going to be doing any of the usual songs we've been working on so far this term. In addition, any money donated to us tonight through the PayPal link on our webpage, which is quaggycommunitychoir.com/South London Home Choir, will be redirected to the National Mikey Powell Memorial Family Fund. So any money up till midnight tonight that gets donated to us, we're gonna give to that organisation. Mikey Powell was a man who was killed in the custody of West Midlands Police in 2003, and this organisation was set up in his name. They provide financial support to people who have been affected by death in custody, and give assistance to campaign groups who work on behalf of friends and family of someone who has died following or during police contact. So the first song we are going to do this evening is by Bernice Johnson Reagan of Sweet Honey in the Rock fame. It's based on the words of Reverend Benjamin Chavis, who is an African-American civil rights leader and who was an assistant to Martin Luther King back in the day. It's called I'm Gonna Stand. It's really nice and simple, and you could totally learn this without using a score or lyrics. But I would suggest getting one anyway, just so that you know which bit I'm talking about as we go through the song. So if you haven't done this already, go to quaggycommunitychoir.com/South London Home Choir, which is South London Choir Home Choir's online home for resources, and grab a PDF of a score or a lyric sheet from there. So the way this song works is that voices 1, 2 and 3 are all together for certain phrases, and then we split for others. So we sing all together, we will not bow down to and then we split, and voice 1 goes racism, voice 2 goes racism, voice 3 goes racism. right? So you can see how this works. Then we come back together. We will not bow down to injustice, injustice, injustice. So again, coming back together and then splitting apart into 3 again. We will not bow down to exploitation, exploitation, exploitation. Okay, so we're gonna do voice 3 to begin with. Okay, voice 3, and what I'm going to suggest is that even if you're normally a voice 1 or a voice 2, learn voice 3 with me, and then we'll go on and do your part in a minute, because the bulk of it, at least for this first bit, is the same, and even the bit which isn't the same, it's easy to adjust. Okay, so let's do this first bit all on voice 3 to begin with. I'll sing a line, repeat it after me. We will not bow down to racism. Okay, we might want to start up there. Let's sing it again. And we will not bow down to racism. One more time. And we will not bow down to racism. Good, it goes on. We will not bow down to injustice. So some weird rhythms going on. We will not bow down to injustice. It's really kind of nice and free. Let's do that line. And we will not bow down to injustice. Good, it goes on. We will not bow down to exploitation. Let's do it. And we will not bow down to exploitation. Good, and then we'll do the next little section in a minute. Let's go back and do that from the start. Again, same structure. I'll sing a phrase, repeat after me. We will not bow down to racism. And we will not bow down to racism. Let's go on. We will not bow down to injustice. That line. We will not bow down to injustice. Let's go on. We will not bow down to exploitation. That line. We will not bow down to exploitation. Good. Let's do it all again. This time we'll string it together. So I'm not going to sing a line and you repeat a line. We're just going to do the whole thing. We, 1, 2, 3. We will not bow down to racism. We will not bow down to injustice. We will not bow down to exploitation. One more time. And we will not bow down to racism. We will not bow down to injustice. We will not bow down to exploitation. Good. So that's voice 3, okay? I'm now going to go on to voice 2. And what I'm going to say to people who want to stick with voice 3, sing it along as I'm teaching voice 2, okay? Because it's fairly similar. And what you've got to remember on voice 3, we will not bow down to and then on racism, racism. You're the only part that kind of stays where you are. We will not, sorry, it goes on. We will not bow down to, and again, you more or less stay where you are. Injustice. Okay, when the others go up, you stay where you are. We will not bow down to, again, you stay more or less in the same range. Exploitation. Okay? So, I'm going to do voice 2 now, and it goes like this. We will not bow down to racism. You hear voice 2, how you're taking a little jump up there. We will not bow down to racism. It goes on. We will not bow down to injustice. Again, you're just taking a tiny little jump up for the words racism, injustice, and again, exploitation. So if I go on, we will not bow down to exploitation. Okay, so let's do it, voice 2. I'll sing a line, repeat after me. We will not bow down to racism. Voice 2. We will not bow down to racism. Let's go on. We will not bow down to injustice. That line. We will not bow down to injustice. To go on. We will not bow down to exploitation. That line. We will not bow down to exploitation. Good. Okay, let's do it all, voice 2, from the top. We, 2, 3, 4. We will not bow down to racism. We will not bow down to injustice. We will not bow down to exploitation. Good, well done. Okay, so let's do voice 1 now. And voice 1, you might guess what your part is here. You do kind of what voice 2 does in that you've got a leap, but yours is a big leap. So you sing that first little bit of the line with everyone, and then you take a leap upwards. We will not bow down to racism. You hear what I mean? We will not bow down to injustice. We will not bow down to exploitation. Okay, so each time taking that leap up for racism, injustice, exploitation. Let's try it. Voice 1. I'll sing a line. Repeat after me. We will not bow down to racism. We will not bow down to injustice. We will not bow down to exploitation. I didn't allow you the chance to repeat after me, did I? But let's go back and do it all again, just like we did just now. I'm sure you're okay with that. And we will not bow down to racism. We will not bow down to injustice. We will not bow down to exploitation. Okay, good. And that is voice 1, okay? So we're going to learn the next bit now. So let's have a look at voice 3. Voice 3, I'm going to recap what you've done already, okay? It goes. We will not bow down to racism. We will not bow down to injustice. We will not bow down to exploitation. Then I'm gonna stand. I'm gonna stand. So I'm gonna stand. We have that. Let's do that. And I'm gonna stand. And then I'm gonna stand. If I slow it down, I'm gonna stand. Let's do that last line. And I'm gonna stand. So you just got that little twiddle at the end. Let's do it from bar 7. I'm gonna stand. I'm gonna stand. I'm voice 3. And I'm gonna stand. I'm gonna stand. Okay, good. Okay, let's try voice 2 now. And voice 2, I'm going to do what you've already learned, and then I will go on, okay, so that you hear it in context. We. And we will not bow down to racism. We will not bow down to injustice. We will not bow down to exploitation. And then I'm gonna stand. I'm gonna stand. Okay, so it follows the same shape as voice 3, which kind of makes it easier in a way, but also makes it more difficult in a way. I'm gonna stand. I'm gonna stand. Let's do that bit. And I'm gonna stand. I'm gonna stand. I'm just gonna click so you can feel like how many beats there are. And I'm gonna stand. I'm gonna stand. Good. Okay, let's try voice 1 now. And voice 1, as I did with the others, I will sing what you've already done and then I will go on. You might be able to, you know, if you've been listening to me teaching voices 2 and 3, you might be able to kind of guess what your next, how it goes from bar 7. But let's go from the top. Voice 1. We 2, 3. We will not bow down to racism. We will not bow down to injustice. We will not bow down to exploitation. I'm gonna stand. I'm gonna stand. Let's do that. I'm gonna. And I'm gonna stand. I'm gonna stand. And again. And I'm gonna stand. I'm gonna stand. Good. So that's voices 1, 2, and 3. Let me just recap. Voices 1, 2, and 3. And I'm going to go from bar 6. So this is the word exploitation, okay? So that we can kind of glue these two sections together that we've learned, okay? I'll do voice 3. And what you've got is this. Exploitation. I'm gonna stand. So it's important that you remember to go exploitation and then go down. I'm gonna stand to come up. Let's sing from exploitation. Voice 3. And exploitation. I'm gonna stand. I'm gonna stand. Voice 2 follows the same pattern. So exploitation. I'm gonna stand. Let's try it. Voice 2. And exploitation. I'm gonna stand. I'm gonna stand. And voice 1 follows the same pattern again. Exploitation. I'm gonna stand. You just need to remember to exploitation. Just go back down to come up. Let's do it from exploitation. Voice 1. And exploitation. I'm gonna stand. I'm gonna stand. Alright, so we're going to do the other verses in a minute. But first, let's try doing a little practice loop of the whole thing. Okay, so I will start by doing the bottom part first, voice 3. And then I'll do voice 2, then I'll do voice 1, okay? So, this is how voice 3 goes. We. 1, 2, 3. We will not bow down to racism. We will not bow down to injustice. We will not bow down to exploitation. I'm gonna stand. I'm gonna stand. We will not bow down. Okay, so that's in the machine now. So I will now put voice 2 on top of that. So voice 1, your part's still going to be in there. Sing along with it, okay? We will not bow down to racism. You stay where you are. Voice 2, which I'm going to be singing. We will not bow down to little jump. Racism. All right, let's do it. Voice 2. We will not bow down to racism. We will not bow down to injustice. We will not bow down to exploitation. I'm gonna stand. I'm gonna stand. We will not bow down. Okay, good. That was voice 2. So I'm now going to add voice 1, okay? We will not bow down to racism. All the way up there. So, racism on voice 3. Racism on voice 2. Racism on voice 1. Let's try it. 2, 3. We will not bow down to racism. We will not bow down to injustice. We will not bow down to exploitation. I'm gonna stand. I'm gonna stand. We will. Okay, so let me just leave that loop playing for a minute. I'm going to turn it down, and then I'm just going to sing. When it gets to the words racism, injustice, exploitation, etc., I'm just going to sing each part in turn just to check that everyone's got it, okay? We will not bow down. Let me try that again. 2, 3. 2, 3. We will not bow down to racism. We will not bow down to injustice. We will not bow down to exploitation. I'm gonna stand. I'm gonna stand. We will not bow down to racism. We will not bow down to injustice. We will not bow down to exploitation. I'm gonna stand. I'm gonna stand. We will not bow down to racism. We will not bow down to injustice. We will not bow down to exploitation. I'm gonna stand. I'm gonna stand. Okay, good. Well done. All right, let's move on because I want to try these other verses. Okay, there's slightly different rhythms in the in verses 2 and 3. So let me hold on. Let me just fiddle with this. Okay, so the racism, injustice, exploitation. I'm going to stand. I'm going to stand. That's the same, but verse 2. We will not obey, is how it starts. We will not obey, racism. If it's voice 3, racism. Voice 2, racism. So let's try it. We will not obey, and again, and. We will not obey, Then it goes on, we will not obey, and that's kind of the same. We will not bow down to, we will not obey. Let's sing that. And we will not obey, and then injustice, and it goes on. We will not obey. It's kind of the same. We will not bow down to is the equivalent in the first verse. We will not obey. Let's just sing that. And we will not obey exploitation. And then the next bit's the same. I'm gonna stand. So let's just do each verse in turn. I'll start with voice 3 since we've been doing it in reverse order tonight. So we will not obey, and we will not obey racism. We will not obey injustice. We will not obey exploitation. I'm gonna stand. I'm gonna stand. Let's do voice 2. And we will not obey racism. We will not obey injustice. We will not obey exploitation. I'm gonna stand. I'm gonna stand. Voice 1 now. And we will not obey racism. We will not obey injustice. We will not obey exploitation. I'm gonna stand. I'm gonna stand. Okay, that's verse 2. Let's do verse 3. This is very similar to verse 2. I just can't tolerate, Okay, but you've just got that first note that comes in just before the beat. So whereas you went, we will not obey, it's I just can't tolerate, racism. I just can't tolerate injustice. I just can't tolerate exploitation, and so on. Let's do that again. I'll do voice 3 to begin with. Verse 3, voice 3. 1, 2, 3. I just can't tolerate racism. I just can't tolerate injustice. I just can't tolerate exploitation. And you know the rest. So let's do verse 3, voice 2 now. 2, 3. I just can't tolerate racism. I just can't tolerate injustice. I just can't tolerate exploitation. I'm gonna stand, etc. Let's try voice 1, verse 3, voice 1. 2, 3. I just can't tolerate racism. I just can't tolerate injustice. I just can't tolerate exploitation. I'm gonna stand. And you know the rest. So, let's put this all together, okay? So thanks to the magic of looping, I've managed to get the words racism, injustice and exploitation are looped, but the rest isn't looped. So we'll be able to put the whole thing together. So I'll be singing with you the whole time, and it should just follow verse 1, verse 2, and verse 3, and then we end, okay? Let's give this a go. We will not bow down to, is how we start. We up there if you like. Okay, good luck. 1, 2, 3. We will not bow down to racism. We will not bow down to injustice. We will not bow down to exploitation. I'm gonna stand. I'm gonna stand. racism we will not obey. Injustice we will not obey. Exploitation, I'm gonna stand. I'm gonna stand. I just can't tolerate racism. I just can't tolerate injustice. I just can't tolerate exploitation. I'm gonna stand. I'm gonna stand. All right, well done. So when we're all singing together in person again, if you're a member of Quaggy Community Choir or Palace A Cappella or Crib Notes, one of mine or Eleanor's choirs, this is a song that would be really nice to sing. So hopefully we'll get the chance to do that. If you're in a different choir, feel free to use the score with your choir or tell your musical director to get in touch with me and I'll happily send them the score. So before I pass back to Eleanor for something new, I just want to say, apparently it is National Volunteers Week this week. And so I want to give a shout out to Rushy Green Time Bank in Lewisham, who are currently leading a volunteer effort to help the most vulnerable in the borough during this difficult time, and to Up and Ord Library Hub in Crystal Palace, who are providing all sorts of interesting activities on their Facebook page to keep us engaged, and for whom a certain Eleanor Rastall heroically volunteers every weekday. Talking of which, Eleanor, it's time for another song, so over to you.
Thanks, Jake. Funnily enough, I just suddenly had that thought that it was National Volunteers Week this week, and but then I doubted myself because there's so much going on this week. So I was just looking it up as Jake announced it. So this is sort of telepathic teamwork in action. So thanks, Jake. Brilliant. Right, guys. So the next song we have for you today is a traditional spiritual called "Ain't Gonna Let Nobody Turn Me Round." So let's have a go at learning this. I have turned myself up a bit, guys. I know some of you said I was a bit quiet. So we're trying to play with levels so that when I'm playing tracks, it doesn't distort, which is why I turn myself down. But anyway, let me know as we go along if it's still too quiet, or, you know, if you need changes, give me a shout. So, Ain't Gonna Let Nobody Turn Me Round. Jake, I assume this is the arrangement of yours? Maybe-ish? Okay, I won't go there. Right, good. Anyway, 3-part arrangement. As always, we've got voice 3 is low, voice 2 kind of in the middle, and voice 1 high. Voice 3, I think, has the tune. So it goes like this. If you haven't got a score yet, guys, do grab one from quaggycommunitychoir.com/South London Home Choir. Okay, so verse 1, voice 3 goes like this. Ain't gonna let no turn me round, turn me round. Ain't gonna let nobody turn me round. Well, I keep on a-walking, keep on a-talking, marching up to freedom land. Ain't gonna let... And it goes into verse 2. Okay, so voice 3, let's learn you first, because voices 1 and 2 generally are adding in. We get ain't gonna let nobody, and then everybody comes in with turn me round. Okay, so voice 3, first section goes, ain't gonna let nobody turn me round. You've actually only got 5 notes generally in your part, I think. Let's give that a go. Voice 3, and ain't gonna let nobody turn me round. One more time, and ain't gonna let nobody turn me round. Next bit is turn me round, turn me round. So you've got almost the same thing 3 times. So turn me round, turn me round, turn me round. Okay, let's just give that a go, voice 3. I reckon you can have a go at all of it. Ain't gonna, 1, 2. Ain't gonna let nobody turn me round, turn me round, turn me round, with a short note on the end there. Great. Then you repeat, ain't gonna let nobody turn me round. Okay, so you've done that bit, and the last little bit is, well, I keep on a-walking, keep on a-talking. So you've got the same bit of tune twice, just slightly different words. Let's try that. Well, I keep on a-walking, keep on a-talking. Let's do it one more time. And well, I keep on a-walking, keep on a-talking. Last line goes, marching up to freedom land. And a short note because you're going to go straight on to verse 2. Okay, so voice 3, let's try all of that. Ain't gonna, we'll do it a couple of times, don't worry, I know that was a fast whiz through. Ain't gonna, and ain't gonna let nobody turn me round, turn me round, turn me round. Ain't gonna let nobody turn me round. Well, I'm keep on a-walking, keep on a-talking, marching up to freedom land. Cool. All right, let's just do that again so you feel secure in how we fit all the bits together. Voice 3, one more time. 1, 2. Ain't gonna let nobody turn me round, turn me round, turn me round. Ain't gonna let nobody turn me round. Well, I keep on a-walking, keep on a-talking, marching up to freedom land. Really short note on the end. Okay, awesome. Well done, guys. We'll come back and just do that again in a sec. So, voice 2, let's have a go at you. So, you hear, ain't gonna let nobody, and then your bit is, turn me round, turn me round, turn me round. So, like voice 1, you sort of almost have the same thing 3 times. Sorry, voice 3, you almost the same thing 3 times, but the middle one, the final note is lower. So, turn me round, turn me round, turn me round, turn me round, like that. Okay, let's give that a try. So you're gonna hear the lead in. Ain't gonna let nobody turn me round. Okay, here we go. And ain't gonna let nobody turn me round, turn me round, turn me round. Okay, with a short note on the end there. Next little bit. Ain't gonna let nobody turn me round. So it's all kind of based on what you've already done. Ain't gonna let nobody turn me round. Okay, let's give that a try. And ain't gonna let nobody turn me round. And then the next little bit. Well, I keep on a-walking, yeah, keep on a-talking, yeah. So you've got an extra word in there, voice 2. Well, I keep on a-walking, yeah. Let's try that. And well, I keep on a-walking, yeah. One more time. And well, I keep on a-walking, yeah. Next bit, keep on a-talking, yeah. So you've got one yeah that's lower and one that's higher. Okay. Good. Let's just give that a try. So, well, I keep on a walking, yeah, keep on a talking, yeah. Okay, let's try that, voice 2. And, well, I keep on a walking, yeah, keep on a talking, yeah. And last little bit. Marching up to freedom land. So you just got 2 notes there, and you hold it on the end. So voices 1 and 2, you hold your last note, and it kind of links over voice 3 going into the start of the next verse. Okay. So let's just try from Well, I Keep on a Walking. So this is, for those of you who've got a score, bar 7, end of bar 7. Okay, voice 2, here we go. And, well, I keep on a walking, yeah, keep on a talking, yeah, marching up to freedom land. Like that, okay, without the momentary pause when I lost my line. Good, let's try all of voice 2. I'll give you the lead in from voice 3. So voice 3, feel free to sing along and just see if you can hold your parts, okay? So voice 3 is going, ain't gonna let nobody turn me round. So you're staying in very much in the same place as the tune starts, okay? Voice 2, you're going to be doing, let nobody turn me round. Voice 1, your part is actually fairly logical, the next note up that makes sense. So you could also have a little experiment and see if you can find the notes that work on top of it. So here we go. I'm going to sing voice 2. 1, 2, but I'm going to give you the lead in for voice 3. Okay, and ain't gonna let nobody turn me round, turn me round, turn me round. Ain't gonna let nobody turn me round. Well, I keep on a walking, yeah, keep on a talking, yeah, marching up to freedom land. Cool. And I'd really recommend just seeing, having a bit of a play with whether you actually need a breath or whether you can just go through, because some of this, it makes sense to just go through to the next phrase. Good. Okay, voice 1, similar to what you've just heard from voice 2, but a third higher, basically. So you'll hear, ain't gonna let nobody turn me round, turn me round, turn me round. Ain't gonna let nobody turn me round. Well, I keep on a walking, keep on a talking, marching up to freedom land. So we're going to break that down, but I just wanted to sing it to you because it's really quite similar to voice 2, but a third higher. Okay, so hopefully that will make sense quite quickly. So you hear, ain't gonna let nobody turn me round. Okay, let's just do that first phrase. Ain't gonna let nobody turn me round. Then you have turn me round, turn me round. So let's try those 3 this time. This is voice 1. I'll give you the lead in from voice 3. Okay, here we go. Ain't gonna let nobody turn me round, turn me round, turn me round. That's it. Okay, let's do it one more time. Other guys in the other parts, if you want to sing along, see if you can hold your part, please do. Here we go. 2. Ain't gonna let nobody turn me round, turn me round, turn me round. With a short note. Next bit goes, ain't gonna let nobody turn me round. Let's try that, voice 1. Ain't gonna let nobody turn me round. And again, short note in the end there. Next bit, well, I keep on a walking. Slight change from the other voices there. Well, I keep on a walking, keep on a talking. But you have it twice. Okay, let's try that. Well, and well, I keep on a walking, Cool. Last little bit. Marching up to freedom land. And you're actually going to finish on the same note as voice 2. Exactly the same note. So that's quite a good test. Okay. Let's just try from bar 7, while I keep on a walking. So this is voice 1 still. 1, 2, 3. While I keep on a walking, keep on a talking, marching up to freedom land. Cool. Let's try all of voice 1. Voices 2 and 3, I'd really recommend that you just have a go, see if you can hold your part underneath. And then I'll do it with the track so you can test it and have a bit of support, but just give it a go now anyway. So I'm going to sing the lead in from voice 3 and I'm going to shift to voice 1. Okay. Ain't gonna, ready, 1, 2. Ain't gonna let nobody turn me round, turn me round, turn me round. Ain't gonna let nobody turn me round. Well, I keep on a walking, keep on a talking, marching up to freedom land. Cool. All right, let's give it a try with the track. So what we were finding earlier is that if I try and sing over the track, it distorts. Don't know what that says about my singing, but let's not go there. So I'm not going to sing, but I will kind of lead you a little bit, and you can give me some feedback. Tell me how you get on, and then we'll try the other verses. So you've got time to, which are musically exactly the same. So you'll have another chance to go through it. So don't worry too much about it. Okay. So here we go. Ain't gonna I think I managed to get rid of my my email, which has the track on it. Bear with me 1 minute. There we go. Okay, so voice 3. Ain't gonna let. Okay, and Jake, give me a thing if it's the wrong. Here we go. Ain't gonna let nobody turn me round. Cool, let's give it a go now. Now I can actually hear it. One more go. Ain't gonna. And. Ain't gonna let nobody turn me round. Turn me round. Turn me round. Ain't gonna let nobody turn me round. Well, I keep on a walking, yeah. Keep on a talking, yeah. Marching up to freedom land. Ain't gonna let. Awesome. Cool. Give me a shout out on the Facebook page, guys. Let me know how you got along with that. Let's have a quick look at verses 2 and 3. So they are musically the same. There's one place that's different in verse 2 because of fitting the words in. So voice 3, let's do you first. Voice 3, verse 2. Okay, it goes like this. Ain't gonna let no injustice turn me round. So mainly it's fitting the word injustice in. So it just changed it slightly. Voice 3, have a sing along. Let's find out if there's any problems. Okay, ready? And. Ain't gonna let no injustice turn me round. Turn me round. Turn me round. Ain't gonna let no injustice turn me round. Well, I keep on a walking, keep on a talking, marching up to freedom land. Ain't gonna let. And it goes straight on to verse 3. Okay. Cool. So voices 1 and 2, I hope you just had a go there, because why not? The place for you guys to watch out for, so is round about bar 6. So voice 2, you get the lead in. Ain't gonna let no injustice turn me round, turn me round, turn me round. injustice turn me round. Well, I keep on a walking, yeah, keep on a talking, yeah, marching up to freedom land. So it's bar 6 to watch out for, where you have the ain't gonna let no injustice. That's the one to watch out for. Voice 1, you have the same place to watch out for, okay? So this is voice 1. So voice 3 leading goes, ain't gonna let no injustice turn me round, turn me round, turn me round. Ain't gonna let no injustice turn me round. Well, I keep on a walking, keep on a talking, marching up to freedom land. Okay. So it's basically, it is the same. You just got that one little rhythm thing to watch out for. Okay. So I think, let me just give that a try. Keep on a walking, yeah. Keep on a talking, yeah. Marching up to freedom. Ain't gonna let no injustice turn me round, turn me round, turn me round. Ain't gonna let no injustice turn me round. Well, I keep on a walking, yeah. Keep on a talking, yeah. Marching up to freedom land. Ain't gonna let no. Awesome. Good. Well done, guys. Let's have a quick look at verse 3 and then we can do the whole thing. So let's just do the same thing. I'm going to sing each part in turn, but please just have a go at singing along. It is exactly the same. It's the words fit exactly the same as they did in verse 1 this time. So very straightforward. Give it a go straight off. Just going to sing voice 3 first. So voice 3, verse 3. Here we go. Ain't gonna let no hatred turn me round, turn me round, turn me round. Ain't gonna let no hatred turn me round. Well, I keep on a walking, keep on a talking, marching up to freedom land. And I remember as I did it that what I needed to do was slow down the end. So the last line goes, marching up to freedom land. I did actually slow it down a bit on the recording. So voice 3, you'll get another chance to try that in a sec. Let's do voice 2. I'm going to start with, I'll give you the voice 3 lead in, as always. Ain't gonna, here we go, 2. Ain't gonna let no hatred turn me round, turn me round, turn me round. Ain't gonna let no hatred turn me round. Well, I keep on a walking, yeah, keep on a talking, yeah, marching up to freedom. It's going to slow down. Marching up to freedom land. Sorry guys, it's been a really long day with everything literally back to back and I haven't had dinner yet, so my brain's kind of just gone a bit bare at this point, so bear with me, and well done for keeping going. Great, so voice 1, verse 3, let's give this a try. So I'll give you the lead in from voice 3 again. Ain't gonna, ready, 1, 2. Ain't gonna let no hatred turn me round, turn me round, turn me round. Ain't gonna let no hatred turn me round. Well, I keep on a walking, keep on a talking, marching up to freedom land. Remembered it a few. Excellent. All right, guys. I think we're nearly done for tonight. You've done great. Let's do it all the way through from the start. Thanks, guys. I'm getting some very lovely messages on Facebook from Palace a Cappella. Really appreciate it. Thank you, guys, and for you chatting and responding so much. It's lovely. I'm very sure that the same thing is going on the Quaggy page at the same time. I did pop on there earlier to have a look, but it's hard to switch between pages while also doing teaching something, so that's the only one I can see at the moment. But thank you guys so much. As always, we do really appreciate feedback and banter and silliness and stuff that reminds us that we are a community, despite being not in person at the moment. It just really helps. I can't say that enough. So let's have a go at singing all of this through, and so that we can actually finish on that note. I'm just going to do one final quick reminder. I need to get my notes, but just to say that tonight, any donations that we get through the Palace a Cappella page or the Quaggy community page, all of those donations tonight are going to the National Memorial Family Fund, which is supporting families affected by deaths in custody and campaign groups in their fight for justice. So all of the donations tonight are going there, and thank you very much for supporting us and them. So let us sing the whole of this. I'm going to let nobody turn me round. This is lovely. I've learnt so many new songs today. It's been brilliant. So thanks, Jake. He was obviously the mover behind most of the things we've done tonight. I found the round. I'm going to claim that one, but everything else is Jake. Okay, guys, here we go. One more time. And as I said about the warm-up, in fact, these songs don't really work rigidly still. So find a flow, find the movement that feels right for you. If you want to click along, clap along, this is 5 minutes of total freedom. So do what you feel like. Okay. Ain't gonna. Here we go. Ain't gonna let nobody turn me round, turn me round, turn me round. Ain't gonna let nobody turn me round. Well, I keep on a-walking, yeah, keep on a-talking, yeah, marching up to freedom land. Ain't gonna let no injustice turn me round, turn me round, turn me round. Ain't gonna let no injustice turn me round. Well, I keep on a-walking, yeah, keep on a-talking, yeah, marching up to freedom land. Ain't gonna let no hatred turn me round, turn me round, turn me round. Ain't gonna let no hatred turn me round. Well, I keep on a-walking, yeah, keep on a-talking, yeah, marching up to freedom land. Awesome. Well done, guys. I am very sure that these songs are going to come back at some point in the future, and hopefully when we're all together again. So that's it from us for tonight. Have a lovely rest of the evening. Stay safe, and we will see you very soon. Bye.